Okay, what's good, everybody? We are back again with getting to know the cast of the BCU or the Blick incident, but this one's slightly different because this is a backstage person, technically a part of the cast because he has played some characters in the Blick incident. He is the guy that edits the videos. He's the guy that helps with the thumbnails and helps make sure that everything is going smooth and coming out as clean as possible. So all the nice effects and all that stuff that you've seen in episode 1 and 2, and some of the stuff you're gonna see in episode 3, was done by this guy here, Alpha, how I call him, or how he actually is known as Giorgio Jones. How you doing, man?
I am pretty good, man. Pretty good today. Can't complain.
Yeah, that's good, man. We've known each other for a long time, man, since 2015.
Yeah, 2015, and I was 14 at that point, and like you were what,
I was
17,
like
I think.
17, man. Something like that. I was like
Yeah,
17.
man,
2014, man.
it's
Crazy.
crazy, bro. We were kids, dude.
Uh-huh.
Children, basically, man.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
time flies by like really fast, man. And it's funny,
Mhm.
man, because a lot of our group were all around the same age. You got some people that are 16, some people that are 17, some people that just turned 18, man. It was an interesting time, especially in terms of making content. But I want you to basically properly introduce yourself in terms of what you do, your role, and all that stuff. Let the people know a bit about you. Like, who is Alpha? Who is Giorgio Jones?
Sweet, yeah, okay. Hello, people. I go by Alpha Excalibur on the internet, and I am a editor and a person who has a lot of passion for filmmaking and just content creation in general. I've had a passion for it ever since I was 12. I started posting on YouTube back in January of 2013, and ever since then, I basically like never stopped. At first, I was doing a bunch of like anime gaming content. I was giving my like thoughts and opinions about, like a bunch of like Dragon Ball stuff, Naruto stuff, and pretty much like anything that I found interesting at the time. And from there, I transitioned into doing these comedy skits. And like that's where I made a series called Professor Alpha, where I play like this professor character who would try to educate people on a bunch of like random topics like anime games or I think I had one episode about cooking. And yeah, so I was doing that for a very long time, at least about 8 or 9 years, and then around 2023 is when I started a film channel where I talk about movies and TV shows, and I'm making content over there now because a bunch of my interests have kind of like pivoted over to uh, filmmaking, and I want to be more in that space, and like that's what I've been doing ever since, and like that all ties into me helping out on this project here because as like the editor, I'm also the script supervisor, and I help with like a bunch of the characters. I play Kyle, and I might also have a secret cameo in episode 3. Who knows? Um,
Hmm.
yeah. So like that's basically me, man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, it's been a long journey. I remember when I first started creating content. It was something that I didn't really see myself doing for a long time, but it turned out to be something I really enjoyed, and then we just took it to the next level, and that's how it turns out to be in this content creating space. One thing I would like to ask you is, what's your biggest inspiration? Like, in terms of creating content and in terms of films, like, so when you look at people that do films, who's the people that stand out to you?
Biggest inspirations for films. Wow. So, Sam Raimi is a big one. He made my favorite movie of all time, which is Spider-Man 2. And him in particular, he's great because he's a guy that came from nothing pretty much. Um, like back in like the 70s, he was just making a bunch of movies with his friends. Then his first film he made, Evil Dead, was a cult hit. Like a bunch of people really loved it, and like that's where he got a bunch of his filmmaking practice on. Like he was doing it himself, and like that inspires me a lot because it always goes like to show that like you don't need a giant budget or a crew for like a lot of things. As long as you've got a camera and a vision, then you can make something happen. So Sam Raimi is like definitely up there. There's a YouTuber named James Rolfe who is popular for the Angry Video Game Nerd, which is a online series he's been doing for like 20 years now, and he's another guy who is a indie filmmaker who has been able to create his own smaller projects basically by himself, and like that's another thing that really inspires me as well. Um, but yeah, like just seeing people out here creating whatever they want to with like no budget behind them, like no company behind them. Like it shows me that yeah, like I can do it too. As long as I have a drive towards it, then it could be done.
Oh yeah,
And like yeah, like those be my inspirations.
yeah. Like, and when it comes down to stuff like that, inspiration comes from somewhere. I'm surprised you didn't mention one name,
Yeah,
Storm Pal.
Yes, Storm Pal is the OG Dragon Ball YouTuber.
Yeah, because it
Wow,
wasn't for
yeah,
him, I wouldn't
Storm
have met you,
Pal.
man.
That's true. Yeah, it's crazy because like him, Omega Pro, and Toasty, like for a long time, like was my main trio that I would always watch,
Hmm.
and like that's how I ended up like meeting yeah like everyone else in the group pretty much because of like them in some way. I feel like.
Yep.
Oh wow, like that's a throwback. Holy
It
shit,
is a
Storm Pal.
throwback, man. Because what 2015 was the time, like, because
Mm,
like for me, like I got inspired to get into this realm because of Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
right.
I was injured from playing football, and then I saw Dragon Ball come on. I was like, yo, let me rewatch this, man. I remember I used to like it around a family friend's house. Let me give it another shot, and I watched it a bunch of times with my brother and sister, and then we got hooked, and then we started playing the games, and then I saw the video of my friend who I actually saw today. He told me that he was actually really excited about episode 3 of the Blick incident. He knocks on my door and goes, "Yo, look at this game!" And it's a Xenoverse. And the thing that stood out to me was the Super God Fist punch that Goku threw at Frieza on Namek. That shit was
Hmm.
fire to me, and that's where everything kicked off, and that snowballed into where we are now. Um, One thing I would like to ask you is, what would you say in terms of your creativity? Oh, because obviously you got Dragon Ball Alpha, you've done Professor Alpha and all that stuff. What would you say the biggest thing you've learned from being in this space? Because let's be honest, Alpha man, even though we are young, we have been creating content for a very long time. We've been doing this for like 10 years. If we're being honest, 10 long years. So what would you say the biggest, most important content, or even when I say the most important video for you? You can either use Alpha Gates Games or you can use Geo Filmworks.
Of my most important video. Wow. Yeah, like this is a heavy hitter. Shit, I never thought about it. uh,
You got the
so
tough
like
question.
off the top of my head, for sure is the Spider-Man Lotus video I made on my Geo Filmworks channel. Like that was the main video that blew up that channel, and it kind of like gave me, I guess, you know, it really showed me that I was on a good track, and that like changing over to a film channel was a right thing to do at the time, because like honestly, yeah, like I was, kind of like, like can I even make this channel work? Like am I able to create content as good as I did over here? And after I made that video and it blew up, I was like, yeah, okay. So like I'm onto something here. I just have to keep going. It's all about trial and error. You
Hmm.
know, not every idea you have is going to be a banger, and you never know when a video you have is going to blow up, and when it is going to hit people. So you just have to keep going until eventually something really just, nails it.
Hmm.
But yeah, like the Spider-Man Lotus video is like definitely my most important video I made, at least of the past couple years.
Mm.
Uh, the other one I would name is probably my first video ever, and like you probably like don't even know about this, but like back in 2013, my first upload on Alpha X Games is a gameplay video of Street Fighter Alpha 3, and like it had no commentary at all. Like it was just a gameplay video, and like
Hmm.
that was the first thing I ever uploaded on that channel over like 12 years ago now.
Wow.
So yeah, I would say my first ever upload on YouTube is that, and Spider-Man Lotus are my two most important videos.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I'm surprised. Not the worst Sonic games.
Oh, Dwarf Sonic Games one, that was a good one, yeah, but it had a whole bunch of Sonic fans on my ass for years and years
Hey man,
afterwards, and like
character building.
I'm still getting comments on that video even now.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Hey man, that video's
Yeah,
like
it's
over
been 10
like
years, bro.
10 years old. But
Yeah.
one thing I would say is should I say the of the question I got pivot to is, so when I came with you with the idea of making Jujutsu Kaisen The Blick incident, what was your initial reaction? After episode 1 and 2, and obviously seeing the progression of it, is there anything that has shocked you about the episode, or even whether like anything that shocked you about the episode thus far? Like, what first your initial reaction to me hitting you up with the idea, asking you to be the editor, because um, I was of the mindset of trying to do everything, and then I realized in order for this project to be successful, I had to think bigger than myself, and I had to go the route of actually recruiting and adding people on to in order to make this work. Because let's be honest, man, it took a while for it to come out. It took a while for
Mhm.
you to get the footage for episode 1, and whatnot, because we had a bunch of things that we had to sort out. A little bit of communication issues in terms of me and Ron, in terms of how we were trying to put everything together and whatnot. But
Mhm.
yeah, is there anything that surprised you? Because I remember the first tester for how this was gonna work was Old Men in Anime. You know, the one with John with the
Right,
beard.
yeah.
That was the first video that you edited for me as a skit. Actually, no, that
Mhm.
wasn't. The first video that he edited me as a skit was working for an animation studio.
What yeah, was it?
Yes, it was the
Damn,
one where
yeah,
you
like, that
wore
was
that
back in
little cloak.
2020.
Yeah, that was the first video.
Yeah,
But the first video with
damn.
Ron, me, and you, and all the other people was the Old Men in Anime. But yeah, just give me. I kind of butchered that question, but I think you get a rough idea what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, so at first, like, when you came up to me with the idea, I was really excited, but also I was kinda like, "How are we gonna even do this? And, like, what is this gonna even turn out to be?" Because, like, as you said, like, the only things I have edited for you prior to then was, like, all, like, comedy things.
Mhm.
So and, like, like, this series is, you know, it's an action series, like, there's a bunch of, like, fighting and, special effects and a whole bunch of drama going on in every episode. So it was a big change, like, compared to, like, the other, like, content that you were making. But, yeah, my initial reaction was one of excitement, and I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Uh, I I am interested in seeing on, like, where this is gonna go, and I wanna, like, like, actually, like, be a part of it." And then after I think the episode 1 trailer came out is when I knew, yeah, like, we're onto something here. The episode 1 trailer, I think, is probably my second favorite of the bunch, but,
Yeah,
like
that
like,
trailer
it was a
shocked me.
great yeah, like, it was a great, first impression of, like, things that we could, achieve, and I feel like every episode after 1 has been, drastic, improvements over, the other. Um, for example, like, episode 1 is only, like, 12 minutes long, while episode 2 is 18 minutes, and then episode 3 is gonna be even longer. And in episode 3 by itself, we have like a bunch of changes that we didn't have in 1 or 2. And we have even more characters now and even more actors, and we have an even bigger crew, and it's really great because like we made so much giant progress in like the span of what, like 2.5 years.
Yep, it's crazy.
So like, yeah, man. So like, yeah, it's only been about like 2.5 years. So I can only imagine how we're gonna be on like year 5 or like year 10. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah,
it's gonna be great to see, and I'll be here for the ride.
yeah, man. Like, honestly, when I came up with the idea, it was one of those things. It was an ambitious project. Um, the base level aim that made me believe that we could make this work was seeing what RDC World did with Hood Avatar. So I believed in Ron, I believed in you, and I said if we can get it to that Hood Avatar episode 1 level, then we and the story's good, then we can build from there. And obviously we ended up exceeding expectations, ended up doing better than I would have thought. Because episode 1, I had to play like 4 or 5 characters. It
I
was
remember,
crazy.
yeah.
Now we're at the point where I don't have to play as many characters. There's certain scenes that I'm not even in it. It's just it's other characters. So it's been an amazing ride. It's been an amazing journey. It's been an amazing process in putting all of this together. Um, but yeah, one thing I would like to ask is what part shocked you the most of the episode? It could be the location that I filmed at. It could be the way the camera angles were. It could be the fight scene. It could be anything. Is there any part that shocked you? And obviously, you cannot include anything from episode 3.
Shit. Okay, this is tough. So yeah, I can't do any spoilers. So in episode 1, like the part that shocked me like the most, even now, is when you guys were filming in the forest. It looked really good. It was very, very like professional, and like it was my first time, like ever like seeing like an action scene from you guys, and I think it came out like really well, and it was really intricate, and it all really came out really good in the end. So like that's like the main thing that kind of stands out to me from like that episode in particular. Um, but yeah, so you guys have a great eye when it comes like to like filming action scenes, especially.
Shout out
Every
to Jordan,
episode,
man.
yeah, man. Like every episode is like better and better. Every time when it comes like to more fights. I think episode 3 has like the most fights we have in the series so
It
far.
does. We have like three, 4 fights, 3, 4 fights, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, and like every fight had to be planned out and choreographed, and that's insane and like very impressive.
You know what's
So
funny though? Let me say this real quick. You know what's
mhm.
funny? Episode one's fight scene was done. Wasn't real. It was rehearsed on the day. So we learned.
Oh really?
We did that on the day. On the day of that shoot, Jordan basically said he walked us through it, and then we practiced it a couple of times, and then we did it. Whereas with episode 2 and 3, there was more. It was more rehearsed, especially episode 3, way more rehearsed. He had us stretching, warming up, all of that stuff, and we did more advanced stuff in that sequence. And that's how we went about doing that. And every
Mm.
time we keep boosting the level, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be interested to see the interview with him when we get round to his one, because there's a lot of questions I got asked from him in terms of what got him into that position to do something like that, because what he's doing and what he's done is great. And he's one of the people that I met him by luck. It was not planned.
Mm.
It was the I was not even I had a thought of fight choreographer, but I didn't know how I was gonna do the fight scenes. I'm gonna be real. I did not know how I was gonna fight scenes. I gotta thank Miguel. Miguel told me that that was the guy that did that shit for him. If I did not speak to Miguel, we would not be working with this guy. That was pure luck.
Wow.
I did
Shout
not
outs.
go out of my way to look for a fight choreographer. A lot of the things that we've done, I did not go out of my way to look. It was just pure luck. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, what were you gonna say? Because I or
I was gonna make some comment about the fights, but I forgot at this point. But yeah.
Oh yeah. So my question is, yeah, obviously being the editor, is there something particular that was the hardest part to edit in episode 1 and 2?
Yeah, okay. So yeah, a few things. So episode 1, the power of a Bori effect, I had no plan for. I had no idea what I was going to even do for it. Um in the scripts, like we didn't really have like an outline or anything for it. So
We didn't have a storyboard before storyboards.
yeah, yeah, exactly. We didn't have a storyboard either. So like for that effect, it was a bunch of me just trying to like figure out how to make this kind of cool looking, but also it has to be small enough in order for him to
Hold.
like have it,
Hmm.
yeah, like in his fingers, like as an orb. So it took me experimenting with a bunch of things, and like what it came down to was me using like this clip of a blue Rasengan from Naruto, and I colored it red, and I overlaid a bunch of effects over it, and that's how we got that effect. And ever since then, I've been trying to improve it here and there, and I think in episode 3, like you guys will see a brand new version of it that is a lot more refined and a lot more polished.
Hmm.
And then episode 2 was pretty straightforward because the majority of that was talking, but like there was a part of the episode that I had to add some narration to because like we were missing a whole bunch of clips for a segment. So I kind of had to improvise with that too on the spot, and like that was like another challenge because I was like, "Oh shit, I don't have any footage for the scene, and this is a really important scene like with these
Hmm.
characters." So I was like, "Okay, so maybe if I could narrate it here, then it can kind of fill in that gap." And it also helps that I also play our narrator too, so I have all these hats, and I can make like any of these um like changes if I
Yeah.
need to. So yeah, like those were like the toughest parts about editing episodes 1 and 2. 3 was another challenge, but we can talk about that at a
Yeah.
different
Later
point
date,
after
man.
it comes out.
Later date.
Yeah.
What we can do, I'll tell you after the stream, after this
Mhm.
video. Um, but yeah. One thing I would say is so obviously you have aspirations and goals outside of the Blick incident. What is the number one thing you want to work on? Obviously, we've seen you act. You've acted quite a bit. All the way from America. You've acted quite a bit in the Blick incident. You've appeared at least a couple of times in each episode, and
Yeah.
whatnot. And for episode and for your own personal goal, should I say, um, what is the next step? What is the next step like for you? Like, do you want to act more? Do you want to be an editor more? Do you want to direct more? Do you want to write more? Like, what's the goal for you? Like, what are you trying to do, career wise?
Uh every single thing you name pretty much. Like I want to have a career where I can just create, like create, like either content online if I'm creating TV shows or movies or like anything, under like that whole part of like media, um acting in more projects like would be good. Like I would love to act in like a series one day, like a drama series would be pretty cool. I would like to get into voice acting as well
You already done
in
a
like
bit of that.
anime.
You already done a bit
I
of that.
have. I have, yeah, like here and there, but like I would like to like take that more seriously at some point. Um, of course, like writing and stuff. I'm always writing, and I want to be able to like write even a more series and even crazier like stories as well. But yeah, man, like just creating more things. I have a short film idea that I have to get started on because I've been planning this out for a while. I just haven't made any progress on it. But like that's my main goal for the time being is making progress on the short film and having that out hopefully some point soon. I don't want to say when because like then I put myself on a time limit, but hopefully
Yep,
sometime soon.
yep. I feel that.
But yeah,
I feel that.
that's my plan,
I
man.
think I got one more question. So, where do you see the Blick incident go? Actually, screw the Blick incident for a second. Not screw the Blick incident. We get what I mean. Where do you see the BCU going? Because obviously, we got the Blick incident episode 3, and I've mentioned this quite a few times. After this, we're gonna go on to a new series, entering phase 2, which will introduce Vampire Lopper and Legacy of Zeus, which are going to be
Mhm.
two big series, especially Legacy of Zeus in terms of all the effects we're going to need and all the stuff we're going to be doing. And obviously, Vampire Lopper being a series about a vigilante called Dwayne Roberts, aka Dustborn. So we got that coming up. Where'd you see it? What's your vision for it as an editor, as a co-writer? Because at the end of the day, you're one of the major writers and major contributors in terms of helping me progress. Obviously, I write it, but your ideas and input has helped a lot in terms of us taking to the next level. Episode 1 was obviously just me, and now episode 2, you've helped us lengthen it without it feeling dragged. Where do you see us going?
Oh yeah. So like in the future for sure, like we should be on streaming services and
Live
like
shows.
up there, yeah, like that would be great. And like in the movie theaters,
Hmm.
like I want it like to be huge. Like
Yeah.
you're building your own franchise here, and like that's really cool and it's a big achievement. And I feel like we are on a really good track here, you know. It's like I said earlier, like we made all this progress in 2.5 years. Like imagine in like 5 years from now or 10 years from now, even like in 35, like where we're gonna be at. So,
Yep.
but yeah, I want other projects like to be played on like bigger screens all over the place, and I think
Hmm.
like that is definitely possible. And we just gotta, like work towards that. Keep improving, keep working, and like just like never give up, and always have that drive.
Yeah, 100%. Like, like for me, all of this is just a progress. Like a lot of ideas are flowing, and we're getting a lot of additional people joining. And the next step for us is to find a way to constantly find ways to improve. Everybody has improved acting wise, even though there's always room for improvements. None of us are professionals or anything, but the improvements are there. And in terms of direction and locations that we're picking out, it's getting better and the team's getting bigger. And for me, it's all about having the right people around, like yourself, people that have been there from the beginning, that understand the core values of what the BCU is all about. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got. All I got to ask. You got anything else to add?
That's pretty much everything, man. Episode 3 is coming out really soon, in
11
like a
days.
week and a half now.
11,
Yeah.
11 days, man. Damn. It's crazy, crazy,
Uh,
crazy.
yes, sir. It's finally going to be out there. It's going to be a longer episode for sure,
Hmm.
and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as you did episode 2 and 1, and hopefully even more.
Yeah,
And also be excited for future projects.
these time periods always has me excited because every time we get to the time period of not doing this, of doing this, it's like damn, we're really at we're getting close to the end game, and then obviously we
Yeah,
have
we're
that little
almost at the
break
finish
where we don't
line.
do anything, and then obviously you see a bunch of skits coming out and whatnot. But yeah, overall, guys, make sure you check out Alpha's channel, Geo Film Works. I'm gonna link that in the description. I might even just at you because I know YouTube added this feature, and there's
Hmm.
2 features. You got to tell me how you want me to do it because I know there's a collab feature.
Yeah, I don't know how to use that yet though. Like that's like
I know
brand
how to
new, I
use it.
think.
You basically I send a collab feature to you, and then it kind of like
Hmm.
links it together, and it'd be like posted on both of our pages at the same time. Or there's like an at feature where you can add it at the same time. But overall, we'll figure that out. Like
Oh,
either
sure.
way, man, people will be able to. YouTube's advanced, man. We weren't even able to do that when we started YouTube. Like when we
Hell
started
no, like we
YouTube,
didn't
man.
even have. Yeah,
No, it was different, man. There's so many different ways to grow on YouTube. YouTube's come a long way. But yeah, guys, like I said, man, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon because the Blick Incident episode 3 is coming out. If you haven't seen episode 1 and 2, I got a whole playlist. Because right now we're about to have a trilogy of episodes, which is truly amazing to see. But at the end of the day, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you later. Bye.